just over in Headingley in Leeds, and I was on a street and I wanted to show you something because um, it's just something I feel quite passionate about, something that we used to do and we've stopped doing, or I don't see us doing it anymore. So if we take this street for example, so this is one of around 10 streets in a row. So it runs east to west. So the sun is going to pass through south, which is down there. So it's going to come around. So the gardens will get some sun during the day. So they're all aligned. So all the streets face south. So you've got these houses. So on this side, row of terraces, they are first floor here. So that's your front door. You've got some sort of a ground storage, cellar, kitchen, first floor, bedrooms, and then a top floor. And they run uniformly along. And then on this side, similar makeup, but the front doors aren't quite as high. So you've got a cellar, ground, first floor, and then the upstairs. So to me, these are just cracking houses. Like I've lived in these for most of my adult life. So you've got symmetry, they're all the same. You can see these have got the original railings on. So to me, this should all be the same. So you should be able to keep this street running through the same walls, everything like that. You've got your little front garden here or defensive space, and my dad always used to talk about it, so you're not straight onto the road. We're in Headingley, so you are very close to Leeds basically, and public transport, either buses or train. So you'll notice there's less cars about, so you can picture streets like this 50, 60 years ago, there'd have been even less cars again. We've got the modern blight on society, which is the dustbin. We have to have about 3 million dustbins everywhere, which, anyway. But yeah, so I think these are great houses. So they're back to backs. So I've lived in these a long time, like I said. So you've less maintenance. They're absolutely bomb proof. You've got one front wall to look after. You've got less windows. You've got less walls that are going to lose heat, unless obviously you live in the end one. You're close to your neighbours, you've got your own little space, you're close to shops, and I think you have everything you need. So I lived in these as a young man, and then they're also great for young families or people with kids. And then within this area, you should have enough kind of, within walking distance, shops, pubs, schools, all that kind of thing. So I suppose my point is when we're seeing new houses built, they tend to not be built like this. They tend to either be on larger individual plots, bigger houses that they're pushing further and further out of the built up areas, or they're going vertical, which they're doing a lot now down in certainly closer to Leeds, which I get. You've got a bit more density down there. But I just think these are great houses, and I think they should look at these again as a building system. They've got a low footprint. If they're put in the right places, everyone's near to amenities. So like if you imagine there's 10 of these streets, that's, what's on this street? Probably 40 houses. That's 40 families. So it could support a school, a shop, a doctor's, all that kind of stuff around here, and you get a strong sense of community. And it was built like this for a reason. So, I don't think people have changed that much over the years. And then if we just look further down, so as soon as we get this bigger space, they're putting in these bigger houses, and then you get the all encompassing driveway that we all need, because we all need to have 2 and 3 cars. So to me, that's just dead space. And then we've got these bigger houses at the back, if you can quite see them. So then you've got your semi-detached, which is more with your front, back, side garden. So again, just a different way of living. But I think these streets are great. There's 10, I've just counted them up. So there's 10 all in this row. Then you move down onto the main road, and then there's 10 more following on. So you've just got everything. So this is mainly a student area now. But once upon a time, it won't have been. And I think it's something to consider, because every time we build, I think we're building the wrong places. We're pushing people into houses they don't want. Everyone needs 2 cars. I don't know, I don't think it's great. Anyway, those are just my thoughts on it while I was here. I'd love to know what you think. Drop it in the comments.